Hello, hello. Okay, so I was just responding to a message from somebody, and it inspired me to record a little video. Sorry, I'm jumping a little all over the place here, like with my camera. um, and it's the concept of like navigating turbulence, navigating obstacles in our journeys, and being able to see those obstacles, the things that happen to us as opportunities rather than problems or things that happen to us. Because and I definitely talk about this in a lot of my videos, but I'm a big believer that life is happening for us and not to us. But oftentimes when we're caught up in the midst of whatever is going on in our world, and our world meaning our close proximity world, but it can also mean like our bigger world, because there's a lot going on, like politically and everything right now, that it's very easy to get sidetracked with, the drama, the turbulence, the problems. And that is so like low vibration, right? And it brings us out. So being able to look at what's happening in our world, no matter how difficult, turbulent, etc., that it might feel, like how it's actually supporting you and helping you. And uh, this has been something like my entire life. I haven't really like realized that oftentimes I've been in scenarios where you know, I'll even say like, well, being the devil's advocate, and I don't really believe that I'm an advocate for the devil. I much more believe I'm on the side of the light and God, universe, source. However, I think that I have an ability to see the world in a way that we can operate from that lens of the darkness is our path into the light, and so many people end up getting derailed from their goals, from their desires, from the things that they want, because you're stuck in that lack of belief, which then turns into deeply like stored beliefs, stories, emotions in our bodies, which then become harder and harder to rid ourselves of. And I work primarily with women, mid 30s to like mid 60s, I would say. And I think as we come into that middle age, I say, like, we start to recognize just like the things that aren't working. We start to look at life differently. We look at ourselves differently. We reflect on things differently. And I think it's an opportunity to, instead of to be called forward in that opportunity, rather than to be derailed by the turmoil that you're going through, the turbulence, the pain, the darkness, etc. So, for instance, this person that I was having a conversation with had, she's been going through a transition in her business, and, the things that she wants to focus on and do, like many of us, myself, I definitely went through this, where I was not wanting to do as much of the strategic work, and I wanted to focus more on, my real true passions and talents, which were right around the emotions, the energetics of business and success. Not just business, really, it's success, because it's more like life, relationship, and business success. But the thing is the obstacles that you're facing, you can let them derail you. They can. Now, whether and it can be anywhere, it can derail you. The problems in your marriage can derail your business success. The problems in your business can derail your relationship success, and your issues in all areas of your life can absolutely impact your health. And these are not independent of each other. And that's why it's so important, I believe, for us to really treat each of these, situations, these problems in our life, in the greater world, when we're looking at them, to look at them through a bigger lens, of not how is this hurting me? Why is this happening? This sucks. And give yourself a moment to have the the pity party, to feel the emotions, because it's also not right to just stuff them down, but to instead say, okay, this happened to me. What am I going to make this mean about me? When I tell my story to somebody 6 months, a year from now, how am I going to be replaying the story to them? How am I going to be telling it? Is it going to be from the lens of, I lost this client and that was my primary income and life really fucking sucked and I didn't know what I was going to do, and so I ended up going back to work, or I ended up in scarcity, I ended up, selling my body, whatever, and there's literally no judgment for any of those things. I'm not making any of them wrong. But if they're not what you want, it's up to you to decide what it is that you do want, and to look at the things that are happening in your world, in your life, the turbulence, the problems, the darkness, and say, how can this be my path forward? How is this my path into the light? Because the things that are happening, like, I 100% believe that we chose to be incarnated in the bodies that we're in. Like, we are spiritual beings in human bodies, in human form. And whether you believe this or not, it really is irrelevant, to be honest. But I believe that we're all given challenges, whether you believe that you chose them before you were even born or not, that we're all given challenges in our life, and how we choose to move through them determines who the fuck we really are and who we're deciding to be and what we want and what we're claiming for ourselves. So you could say, again, going back to this conversation with this person, you could say, well, I lost this client and that was my lifeline, so now I'm going to have to go get a job. But it's not. And I will say the message that I got from her was not that at all. It was, this happened to me. This happened. And I was listening. She actually said she was listening to one of my audio riffs that I had done, which, P.S., I do those inside my Unleashed and Authentically Expressed community for free. I also have a program that right now is still 100% free of recordings, 26 days of riffs. So if you want those, you can feel free to reach out, or just use the link to join the community that's in the description. But anyway, she was listening to one of these riffs, and it was kind of the reminder of the I don't remember the exact words, right? But this turbulence, like these obstacles, these problems, you can see them as opportunities. And she's like, as miracles, and you can, that these things, that the darkness can lead to the light. And she's like, and that's what I'm choosing to believe right now. And she reached out and she said, I know that you have a team, and, that she's not a VA, but she's making it work. And she just said, I'm taking this as an opportunity, to something better, because it's always this or better. Like, I want you to remember that it is always this, whatever's happening in your life, it's this or better. As long as you continue to choose that and you don't get sucked back into the darkness and you say, this is happening for me, not to me, it's always this or something better. That is exactly what you're going to create. And, being in the identity of the person who that's what you fucking create, you don't get sucked into the low vibes, the low frequency, the fear, the scarcity, but instead you follow your power, because that's really what it comes down to. Like, nobody else controls how successful you are. You do. You do. And whether or not you're making $0, $1,000, 10,000, 100,000, $1 million a month, it really doesn't matter, because all of those are can be looked at as successful or unsuccessful, depending on what you choose. Really, it's all a choice. So I'm celebrating this person because she chose to look at this as success, as an opportunity for her growth, rather than the thing that was going to break her in her business. And I don't know a lot of people who are that strong. Like, my circle is growing, so I know quite a few, but there isn't many people, especially, like if you think about the people in your day-to-day life, do you know people, like a lot of people that are that strong? Possibly not. So that might not be the model that you had, but I'm telling you, like, this is the path. And success is not smooth sailing. It's not sunshine and rainbows. Business success, financial success, relationship success, health, it's not always going to be perfect, but how you choose to move through the turbulence, the problems, the things that happen in your life will determine how life goes. Life, business, money, health, all of it goes for you in the long term. the best foundation you can build for yourself is one of belief in this, of the obstacle is the way, that it's always this or better. And in order to really truly move into that space of light, you need to face the dark full on. You can't avoid it. And you can choose to for a little while, but you can go around it, but it's just going to keep popping up. So whatever this thing was for her that she needs to face, she's going to. And she's going to be coming out fucking so much stronger because of it. And I just can't celebrate that enough. So you know who you are if you're watching this video, and I'm celebrating you. And I welcome all of you to celebrate this person along with me, but also to just reflect on your own life of where have you been playing a victim perhaps, or believing that things couldn't be better, and what are you choosing instead? And if you're choosing to step into the light, to step into the darkness as a path to the light, to being all of you, to unleashing all of you in your most true authenticity, like this is the path. So I would invite you again to join me in Unleashed and Authentically Expressed, which is my free community on Telegram, where you can catch some of those audio riffs that I mentioned that this person had been listening to, as well as many other resources. And I'm also going to be, well, depending on when you're listening to this, but I will be doing regular events in that space as well, and I'm going to be hosting one here in August of 2025. Have not set the date yet, but make sure that you sign up, so then that's how you get the details, is being in that community. And of course, if you've enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you get notified of more of these, and comment below with any reflections that have come through for you, because that also helps to just guide me in future videos and what I think is going to resonate most for the energy of the collective. So thank you so much, and we'll talk to you all soon.